Hello and welcome to another Monday meetup. On today's Monday meetup, we will be covering careers and co-op. My name is Jordan. For those of you who have not joined us before, our Lakehead International Live series is a daily live series at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time across multiple different platforms. Today, of course, we are live on Zoom as well as Facebook Live. But of course, we are recording our sessions. So if you are watching this recording, thank you so much. So we'll be going through plenty of details with our Student Success Center experts, Kristen and Megan, as well as we're joined by Patrick Carr, who is an International Recruitment Officer. So I will be happy to introduce myself first, and then I'll pass it off to Patrick, and he'll chat about what he does here at Lakehead and so on and so forth. So my name is Jordan. I am the International New and Social Media Officer here at Lakehead University International Enrollment. I help oversee our online presence as well as our digital efforts overseas, and that includes helping run our social media channels, host our daily live events, and so much more. So I'll pass it off to Patrick now, and he'll be glad to introduce himself and share what he does here at Lakehead.
Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you are joining us tonight. My name is Patrick Carr. I am one of the international recruitment officers here at Lakehead University. Specifically, I cover the regions of the Middle East, Africa, and the Caribbean, but I'm happy to work with my entire, represent my entire recruitment team who you may have met this past year around the world. So happy to be here today.
Awesome. Then I'll pass it off to Kristen to chat about her role in the career zone and at SSC.
Hi guys, so my name is Kristen. I'm the Career Zone Coordinator as part of the Student Success Center. So my role is to coordinate all the Career Zone programming and career events, including our 4 annual career fairs. So any questions to do with career skills, employability skills, job searching, all those things, I can hopefully answer for you today.
Awesome. And then we'll pass it off to Megan to chat about co-op and employer relations.
Hey everyone, my name is Megan. I am the co-op program coordinator under the SSC. So any questions regarding co-op, if you're applying for or have been accepted into a program with co-op, any questions regarding that, you can direct to me. I help with right from the beginning, from the application process to the co-op program, from being approved to actually being on a work term. So any questions regarding that, if you are going into a co-op program, you can direct to me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, to our special guests, obviously, but also to our users and our viewers. So again, once I said, those of you joining us on Zoom, we do have plenty of opportunities for you to ask questions, as well as on Facebook Live. If you have questions, feel free to ask us. If you are watching this as a recording, you can also just submit those questions in the comments and we'll be sure to get back to you. So I'll chat briefly about sort of what we're going to cover today, where the conversation will be guided to, but most importantly, we know that your questions are going to dominate our conversation, and we're happy to answer your questions and get you more feedback at least. So we are going to do a brief overview of the Student Success Center here at Lakehead University and kind of all of the services and opportunities that they do offer and provide. Then we're going to chat about the career zone and career fairs and what we offer here. And last but not least, we'll chat about cooperative education and sort of the different opportunities within there, how to apply all that sort of stuff. So things to remember while we're doing today's live event. If you like what you see, don't worry, we will be sending out a recording to our mailing list. So that recording goes out on Friday afternoons typically, maybe mid-weekend, and that's also followed up with the following week's international invites. So if you are receiving those emails, you can look for the recordings at the very bottom, but it's also posted on our YouTube channel, Lakehead University, and then the playlist is Lakehead International Lives. You can see all of our previous webinar recordings there. If you do have questions today and you are joining us on Zoom, you can use the Q&A function. So submit those questions. We'll be filtering and answering them throughout today's session. We also have Lakehead experts behind the scenes answering questions. So if we can't get to you live necessarily, we'll have somebody typing our answers behind the scenes too. If you are joining us on Facebook, please feel free to submit questions there, and we'll have our Lakehead experts answering those questions as well. And once again, like I said, if you're watching this a recording, please feel free to comment, and we'll be happy to get back to you as soon as we can. The last thing I'd like to chat about is following us on social media and staying connected with us. We are posting regularly with webinar updates, future events, and we're just staying connected with our student audience. So we're happy to answer more questions on our social media channels too. And it also gives you a great preview or a sneak peek at Lakehead University. So I do encourage you to once again stay connected with us. Lakehead International is our social media channels. Alrighty, so the first thing we'll chat about today is the Student Success Center, and we'll do a broad overview. So I will pass it off to Kristen and Megan, and they can walk through some of the different supports and services that we do provide.
So the Student Success Center, we do have a lot of different pillars that we help students with in terms of student success. So the first one is academic support. So we do have an academic support zone that's located on the second floor of the Chancellor Patterson Library. So definitely a good spot to check out. They help with time management skills. We have academic prep sessions that we do in the fall that help with it could be exam writing, study skills, that sort of thing. They also have tutoring. So any private or group tutoring is provided through the academic support zone, as well as writing services. So if you need help with any writing, it's definitely good to check out the academic support zone. A lot of that is housed, and I'll give a little brief intro to My Success while I'm talking about it, because a lot of our different programming is on My Success. So if you go to mysuccess.lakeheadu.ca, the My Success portal is a good place to check out and sign on, because it has all of our academic support zone services. Co-op program is housed there, any leadership and engagement, and career services as well to book appointments. So you can book appointments for career services, co-op program, academic support as well. So the academic support zone, all of the tutoring schedule is housed on My Success too. So that's definitely something to check out. And I'll hand it over to Kristen for career services.
So we do offer a lot of career services at Lakehead as well through the Career Zone, the Student Success Center. We have things like career exploration. So we are trying to build up a lot more of that specifically in terms of programs, faculties, that kind of thing. But we do have some tools and some things that you can use for career exploration. We also do a lot of skill training for job readiness. So things like resume review, interview skills through our big interview tool. We also have job searching skills. We run a lot of workshops as well throughout the Career Zone. We try to bring in some industry experts through that. And then as well as our career events. So we have 4 annual career fairs, 2 are more general career fairs that are open to all employers. And then we have an education fair and an engineering fair. And then we also host employers on campus throughout the year for recruitment in terms of like recruitment booths or information sessions if they're hiring students or looking to get their information out for students. We also have things like Canada Revenue Agency Day. So we have a lot of different career services, and as the Career Zone is built more and more, so it just opened this past January, we are looking at expanding a lot of our services as well. So you can stay tuned for that.
So the co-op program, basically we house the co-op program. So any students that have a co-op option for their program, that I will be the person that you contact regarding that. Basically the co-op program is, I can give a little general insight to any students that want to know about the co-op program. It's basically an extension of your academic, like your degree, to do a work term experience. So you can do, depending on what the program is, you can do 8 months of co-op, you can do up to 16 months or 4 terms, depending if it's an undergrad program. So you get actually on work experience related to your program. So it's really valuable because then you get work program related experience. So it's really basically the Student Success Center houses that program, and I'm the coordinator for the program. So.
For orientation and transition, that is something that our office takes care of as well in terms of the Student Success Center. So any big orientations, so this upcoming fall one, for example, our office will lead that. We do a lot of really fun activities around campus. We also take care of transition for students. So any sort of activities where you know, like we're involved in FastPass and things like that. Leadership and engagement is something that our office also takes care of. So we have a lot of leadership programs that are run through the Student Success Center. So things like student ambassadors or orientation, volunteers, leaders, the Excel leadership program, things like that are things that our office runs. So we do a lot of different things in the Student Success Center.
Awesome. So thank you so much for covering the overview of the Student Success Center. I see quite a few questions coming up with regards to co-op, careers, and some just general application questions. So I'll pass it off to Patrick, and he's going to answer one of the first questions on the Q&A right now.
All right, thank you, Jordan. So one of the questions we have is about the September intake and the current world epidemic, the global health crisis that's affecting all of us. And the question specifically is about submitting confirmation fees in relation to COVID-19 and the public health crisis. And so just broadly, I just want to talk about how Lakehead University is committed to working with all of our students and being as flexible as possible regarding this. And in terms of fees, we've committed that if there's a situation that arises that you cannot attend classes in the fall due to COVID-19 and the public health crisis, we will work with you to refund you those fees. So we're trying to be flexible, and we want to encourage all of our applicants to proceed with their applications as they normally would, because classes in some capacity will be happening in the fall. So again, just to answer that kind of more succinctly, if there's a reason why you cannot attend, we will work with you to refund all of your deposits to make sure that you can that this doesn't negatively impact our students.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Patrick. So I will pass it off to Megan to answer some of the co-op questions we have here. I know that we're going to be covering co-op in a bit more detail in an upcoming section, but as I said, we answer questions as they come up, so we'll jump right into those now.
Okay, so I'm guessing I'm answering the first question here. How do I know if I can apply for co-op? So to know this, you have to be in a co-op program. So if you are in a co-op program, you will be sent an email, usually in the fall, September-ish period, that will say that you are eligible to apply for co-op. The applications are going to be open at this time. It depends what program you're in as well. So and what term you're going to be applying for. So for example, if you are eligible for summer after your first year, which is the case for a lot of master's programs, then you will be sent an email in September saying that you need to apply. There's different windows of time where there's going to be application periods for the different terms. So this information is actually located on, and I'm going to tell this for all students, lakeheadu.ca/co-op. All of the different dates, any information you need about the co-op program is on there as well. But I can quickly go through the dates. So for summer, the applications open October 1st to October 31st. So if you're looking for summer, that's when they open. The fall applications are open right now, but if you aren't started here, then you won't have to worry about that. But if you are intending to apply for fall co-op in the future, the applications open March 1st to end of April. And then for winter, they open August 1st to end of September, the application period. But you will receive, if you're eligible for co-op, you will receive an email regarding this. So you don't have to try to remember those dates, but just be mindful. And this information, again, is on the website as well.
Awesome, and I see that quite a few co-op questions are in a row there, so I'll let you keep going on the roll there.
Okay. What is sorry. Oh, and I will reiterate the question. So, hi all, what is the eligibility criteria for co-op and masters in computer science? So I'm just going to bring it up here, not on my screen, but just so I can remember here. That's different for every program. So there's different eligibility for each program. But if you have a specific question for a program, all of this information is on lakeheadu.ca/co-op as well. If you go to how to apply, it has the eligibility requirements right on there, as well as the work term sequences. But I'll mention for the Masters of Science, Computer Science program, the eligibility. So you're eligible for 8 months or up to 2 work terms. So students need 8 months co-op to receive the designation on their degree. So I'll just cover that quickly. Designation on your degree basically means that you graduate with co-op on your degree. So you get the program name with co-op. So work terms are available summer after first year to summer after second year. So you can do up to 2 work terms between that period. And this is for Masters of Computer Science. Students can only start a work term summer after first year, fall of second year, and winter of second year. So that's when you can actually start a work term. So the actual eligibility requirements are 80% average or higher in at least 2.5 full credit elective computer science courses. So it's your computer science courses that if you have other electives, they don't count toward that average. So 80% average in those. At the graduate level, allowing only thesis or project-based students too. So you have to be in those streams. And you must, and this is specifically for computer science students, Masters of Computer Science, you must come back to at least 2 academic terms after you complete your co-op work terms. So that's the basic eligibility for Masters of Computer Science.
Awesome. And also to clarify that, it answers kind of the next question that you have there.
Yeah.
If you're doing a master's in computer science project base, do you have to complete 5 subjects with 80% for the first 2 terms? Is that correct? So like Megan had just covered, we use here at Lakehead and across Canadian institutions and institutions around the world at higher education level, FCEs or full credit equivalents. Typically a course that would run 4 months. So for example, September to December or January to April. One course between that 4-month period is a half FCE or a half full credit equivalent. If you were to do that between September through April, so one course that took the full 8 months, that would typically be a full credit equivalent. So to reiterate, the 5 subjects would mean just 5 classes in a sense, as long as they are, of course, still meeting the minimum requirements that Megan just chatted about with regards to Masters of Computer Science co-ops.
Correct.
Awesome. So I would love to jump down to another question. And I know Patrick can maybe jump in and chime in about nursing. But can you please talk about co-op program for nursing? So I'll let Megan cover the front half of that. And then if Patrick has anything to add about Lakehead's nursing program, I'd be happy to let him share.
Okay, so I'll just say that there is no co-op program for nursing. There is a placement program, I know, but I'm not too well versed on it. So that's basically my answer for that.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'll just chime in though. And our nursing program is very hands-on, so it's important to note the difference between, say, a co-op placement and integrated workplace learning in your program. And nursing has a number of compulsory workplace placements as a part of your degree requirements. And our nursing students actually start getting clinical experience in first year. So they get into clinics in a variety of settings, hospital clinics, other kind of nursing settings throughout their 4-year degree. Nurses probably actually get more hands-on time than many students. The key differentiator between the nursing work placements and a co-op placement is the nursing work placements are a requirement of the degree. You have to do them to graduate, and they are for credit, but they are not paid. Whereas a co-op placement is not a credit program, but you do get a salary or a wage for doing that that co-op placement. So that's kind of the key differentiator.
I just want to clarify, Patrick, you do get credit for the co-op work terms. It's just a co-op work term credit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's today I learned. I learned something new.
Yeah, you still get academic credit. It's just it's a work term credit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I
also
guess it would
to
show up on
add
your
on,
transcript. Sorry, go ahead.
to add on to Patrick's and to echo what he said about the co-op or the nursing program and that placement opportunity. So on our Thunder Bay campus where we do offer the nursing program, students are actually, we're partnered with the regional hospital, which is actually across the road from us. And like he said, from first year students are involved in placement opportunities and getting involved in working in the real life work setting. And they do that throughout the 4 years, but also important to speak on the fact that once you are in the nursing program, we often see our students working in the health sciences field right within their first year. So they're getting jobs as PSWs, support workers, and those can come at a variety of different methods and different fields, but they're actually still gaining that paid work experience once they've started into their nursing program. We've seen that through lots of our students. So on top of the fact that you're already getting the integrated work placement within the program, you can also work on getting a paid position as you fund your education career. So we have a great question about tuition fees for co-op students. Would you like to answer that one, Megan?
Yeah, I can answer that. So I'm assuming, Pierre, that okay, I'll reiterate the question, sorry. Considering a 4-year program, could a co-op student pay less than the 4-year tuition if he takes a co-op program? So no, so basically the co-op program will extend your degree. So technically, if you do the 16 months, if you're in a 4-year program, it will extend your degree to 1 year. So you're still paying for the full tuition amount, and then you're also paying for the co-op participation fee, which is I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but it's around $750 for your first term. So there's a full fee for your first term, and any subsequent terms after that with the same employer, you pay half that amount. So that's a program fee for us to help you find a co-op position. But in addition to that, you're working full-time, so you're getting a full-time salary during your co-op, so it's full-time paid experience. So just keep that in mind as well, but you still do have to pay the full 4-year tuition amounts, so you don't pay less than what you would.
Awesome. So just being mindful of like kind of sharing the questions, I'm going to pass the question off to Kristen about preparing a resume to apply for part-time jobs.
Sure. So the question was, do we help prepare resumes for part-time jobs? And we definitely do. As part of the Career Zone, we do offer a lot of different resume trainings. So when the Career Zone was open, we offered workshops in person called resume strategy workshops. And these are both at the basic and advanced level. So depending on where you feel like with your resume, you could join one of those. We also had one-on-one appointments with peer reviewers where you could have your resume looked at and talked about with a reviewer. And we do this for all levels of job searching. So this can be for part-time jobs as well as for graduation jobs and things like that. Remotely, we have been offering services as well for resumes. So if you're looking for that assistance right now, we still offer one resume workshop a week online. So all of the scheduling for that is on the My Success events calendar. So it's just mysuccess.lakeheadu.ca, and then you click on the events calendar. They all are via Zoom, so I've put all the Zoom links in there for you to join. And then we are still offering resume reviews remotely as well. So those would be with me. And basically what you can do is you can just email your resume to me. And I think my email is there somewhere. I can put it in the chat, but I can review that remotely for you as well. And I can do that for part-time job searching. The last thing I want to mention about that as well is that we do have a bank of career resources on the Career Zone website. So just lakeheadu.ca/career zone. There are resume templates, resume guides, and we do have things there specifically for part-time job searching for those types of resources too.
Awesome, thank you so much. So the next question I'll chat about is something that I've marked to answer, but also have Patrick follow up if he would like to chime in. So the question was, will the fall session be deferred because of COVID-19? So the simple answer is no. We are still going to be offering a fall term, whether that method is online or in person. Those decisions have not been made yet, just simply because it's too early to say. But what I can confirm is that we are committed to offering a fall term, and the Lakehead education will be moving forward as planned. Simply the method of evaluation, the method of those classroom environments, all that has yet to be determined for fall 2019, but I know that our senior management team is monitoring the situation extremely closely, and we have heard that they're hoping to have answers hopefully within the next few weeks. And then once we know those answers, of course, we'll be updating all of our applicants by email, as well as our social media channels. We'll be posting those as soon as we hear more. But please, I encourage you, if you have any questions regarding what that might look like, you can always reach out to us directly. International's email is welcome@lakeheadu.ca. And if you send us an email there, we'll be happy to either answer it directly ourselves or connect you with the proper department to answer that.
Yeah, and just to add, Jordan, I'm going to take this opportunity because there's a couple questions in the chat kind of related to this this kind of topic. So essentially both questions in the chat can be summarized as saying is, if it's online in the fall, can I defer till later semester? And the answer to that today is we'll have to wait and see. Right now, Lakehead University, as Jordan just said, is really planning and evaluating the situation, and no decisions have been made on the fall just yet. And so no process decisions have been made on the fall just yet. And what I mean by that is until a decision is made in terms of whether we offer in-person or online classes in September, there won't be any decisions made on the allowances for the deferral process. I suspect, as Jordan said, once a decision is made in the coming weeks about what method we will be delivering classes in the fall, you will see a variety of FAQ questions to go along with it about your individual situation. So please stay tuned to your Lakehead University email if you are an applicant who has an active application in, because that's where the information will go first, as well as the lakeheadu.ca/about/coronavirus page for the most up-to-date information.
Awesome, thank you. So I know that we've already covered the overview of Student Success Center, and we have a few more questions about co-op in the Q&A, but I would love to chat about Career Zone and the career services. So I'll pass it off to Kristen to chat about sort of the offerings within Student Success Center and also the Career Zone. And then we'll move into career fairs. And lastly, we'll definitely chat about co-op and answer some of those really key questions too.
Sure. So the Career Zone is a multi-purpose space that opened officially this past January, so January 2020. We're really excited about it. It is still part of the Student Success Center, just as the Academic Support Zone is, but it's its own space to focus on getting that career awareness to students out there. So we do offer a variety of different services. And as I mentioned before, we are trying to build more and more of these services throughout the year, because we want to make sure we're tailoring the services to what you guys as students want. So some of the things that we do offer right now, so I've mentioned the resume and cover letter review sessions remotely and in person when the Career Zone opens again. Workshops and special events. So we have held some different workshops. We've had employers in there that have ran their own resume and interview sessions. We've had people doing sessions on networking, employer sessions, things like that. So we are building those up as well. Interview and job searching skill development. So we do offer that in terms of an online tool that we use called Big Interview. And this is a free resource that any Lakehead University student can use when they sign up with their Lakehead ID. It's a really great resource to practice interview skills. That actually allows for you to do online mock interviews and to learn about interview skills as well. job searching. So we do have drop-in hours for that, where you can come into the career zone and learn about different types of job searching, or if you have questions. I am offering that remotely as well once a week right now. So again, that schedule is on the My Success website. And all of those things, resume, job searching, interview, all these types of things, we do have resources for as well. So on our Career Zone website, which I put in the Zoom chat, we have resources for all of those things. So I would highly recommend going in and looking at that. Career exploration, we do have as well. So you can book appointments with me to talk about any sort of, career questions you might have. Maybe you're exploring a career path, or you're thinking about a certain program or something like that. We can definitely have conversations about that. On-campus employer visits, so I've talked about that. We do offer employers the chance to come to campus and set up a booth or an information session. We are trying to get some employers in to run some skill teaching seminars as well, so stay tuned for those. And then mentoring programs. So RBC's 10,000 Coffees is a really great way for you to connect with Lakehead alumni all over the world, at all different industries, all different types of career levels, to talk about any sort of career questions or inquiries that you might have. And this is something that you can sign up for free as a Lakehead student as well. And then lastly, the Lakehead University Job Bank. So this is something that is housed through the Student Success Center on the My Success website, so mysuccess.lakeheadu.ca. And this is something where employers can post from all over the world and all different types of opportunities. So full-time, part-time, volunteer, there's the co-op job bank on there as well. So we have a lot of different resources.
Awesome. And I would love to take this opportunity to answer some of the questions that are in the chat with regards to career services. So the first question is about jobs after graduation. So I'll read the exact question, then Kristen, if you wouldn't mind answering it. So will you help us get a better job after graduation?
So a part of the Career Zone is to ensure that we're preparing students for success with getting a job after graduation. So the question is quite general, and I can say that yes, we will help. It just depends on what kind of assistance you're looking for. So if any of those services that I mentioned are something that you think would help you to get a job after graduation, then obviously you want to take that up. But we do help students to find those really good jobs and to really develop those skills that will make you an employable person.
Awesome. And then the next question we have here is, can you speak about the undergraduate opportunities for on-campus work? And this question was actually more specific to a potential teaching job within like swimming or the athletics department. So maybe you could chat about on-campus job opportunities, and then if you have any knowledge about jobs within athletics department, that would be great.
Sure. So there are opportunities on campus for undergraduate students. There's two ways that you can find employment on campus. So one of them is through the work-study program. And that's a program where you have to apply to be approved for that program. So I'm not completely knowledgeable on that subject, but I know that one of the requirements is you have to show that you have that financial need. So that's part of your application to apply for the work study program. And then if you are approved for that, then you can apply for jobs on campus that are through the work study program. And I think you can work up to 10 hours a week, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, students that are studying full-time can work up to 20 hours a week.
Okay.
But in most cases, of those on-campus job opportunities do provide 10 hours a week, in my experience, just based on the fact that the employers know that you have to manage your academics, your personal stuff, but then also your jobs. What we've seen is students that have on-campus jobs that do provide 10 hours a week only. And if they feel they can manage it, we'll see them actually get other part-time jobs off campus for another 10 hours. And then during any scheduled academic breaks, so for example, during Christmas holidays or one of our reading weeks, or if you're studying an undergraduate program and you aren't completing courses during summer for that 4-month period, you can actually work up to full-time hours. So again, full-time hours for academic scheduled breaks.
Right. And so the other way that you can get on-campus employment as well, there are places that hire non-work study positions. These are typically places more in the food service part of the university. So students can get jobs at the Starbucks or through Airmark, sometimes at the bookstore or the Outpost, things like that. So oftentimes we have students come into the career zone and ask how they can get those types of jobs. And we always recommend to just go and talk to them in person, see if they're hiring, drop off your resume, that type of thing. With regards to the question about teaching swimming, I'm not entirely sure what the qualification for that would be. My recommendation would be that you would reach out to the athletics department and find out specifically from them, because they would probably have the best knowledge.
Awesome, thank you so much. And I just saw a question pop up that's kind of related to working within Ontario, and it says, what is the basic wage per hour? So Ontario-wide, we do have a minimum wage set by the government, and that's $14 an hour. There are specific situations where that minimum pay does vary just based on what industry you're working within, but typically we see students making $14 an hour or a little above that. But I know that we can dive into some of the co-op salaries and wages when we get to those slides too. And there's one more question here that is job related. Just give me 1 second to pull it up. Well, it looks like it may have been answered by our behind the scenes Lakehead expert. So now I'm gonna change slides and flip over to career fairs. I know that we briefly covered some of these topics already, but I would love for you to expand on them where you can.
Sure. So we do host 4 annual career fairs at Lakehead. 2 of them are in the fall term, and then we have 2 in the winter term. So the ones that are on the slide right now are the ones that we host every single year. We are always looking at expanding those to maybe creating some other fairs that are more industry specific. So you can see that we have 2 industry specific fairs. One is the engineering career fair, and one is the education fair. So the engineering fair is for basically engineering students. A lot of engineering companies will come that are hiring students for summer work, co-op, or jobs after graduation. And then the education fair is the same idea. So that is for students that are teacher candidates graduating from the education program. We have a lot of teaching recruitment agencies and school boards that come to that as well. But both of those fairs are open to any student. So it's not limited to students in those programs, because there are employers that do come to those that hire for any program as well. And then the career and job fair and the career and summer job fair. So the career and job fair is typically held in the fall term, and this is open to all employers. So sometimes employers will come in the fall career fair that are hiring for graduation jobs that following year. So some of them do hire quite early. So it's a good idea to come and check out that fair if you are in the year where you are graduating, as well as if you're just looking for part-time work or any sort of job. We try to host a variety of employers, and same with the career and summer job fair. So that is actually a 2-day fair that's held usually in February, and it's open to all employers as well. And we encourage a variety of employers to come to those.
Awesome. And also, just to speak on a personal experience here, is the fact that that education career fair, I was an undergrad here at Lakehead, so I did my 4-year honored Bachelor of Commerce. I majored in marketing, but I had a minor in human resources and industrial relations. So I wanted to explore my options, and I stopped by that education career fair. And as Megan had said, that it is focused on recruiting teacher candidates out of our teachers education program. But I actually had the opportunity to chat with quite a few employers that were offering jobs within the marketing field, and they also were offering jobs within human resources. So I had those options to explore too. And that's just one student. That's me speaking to my one program, my major and my minor. There was plenty other students that I had heard about, friends in my program, friends in other programs that were also at the same career fair, and learning about other opportunities. So even though it was focused again on that career or the teacher education career, there were several opportunities. So I mean, speaking to the fact that we offer just 4 of them, 4 of them throughout the school year, even though 2 are necessarily specific to sort of one field, there's so many opportunities. And like Kristen had said, on top of these major career fair days where hundreds of employers are here and joining us and offering jobs and whatnot, they're also bringing in a regular amount of employers to host more detailed and more intimate sessions where I'm sure some of those will be hosted in the career zone too in the future. So I'm just going to double check to see if we've received any questions about career fairs. Looks like we haven't yet. If you do have questions, like I said, you can submit those in the Q&A. If you're watching on Facebook, you can comment those, or if you're watching this as a recording, you can submit those in the comments and we'll be checking those after the fact. Otherwise, I'm going to pass it over to Megan to chat about cooperative education. Just keep in mind that we are at 10:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or as I like to say, Thunder Bay time. So we do have about 10 minutes with the host, my co-hosts here. So if you do have questions, please feel free to submit right now. And we'll try and get to all the questions that are currently open in there. If we don't get to them today, I do encourage you to reach out with us after the fact, of course, too. So I'll pass it over to Megan now.
Sorry, my internet kind of cut out. Did you send it over to me, Jordan?
Yes, sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah,
no,
it completely
totally
cut out when you were talking. So, okay. So cooperative education, it's kind of going to be hard to summarize in a couple minutes here, but I will try. Some of the program options, so I can go through the list and name. Just one second. So basically we have a bunch for Faculty of Business Administration, so Honors Bachelor of Commerce program, Accounting, Finance, Human Resources, Information Systems, Marketing, the Global Entrepreneurship program in Aurelia, Business Administration in Aurelia as well. We also have Faculty of Science and Environmental Studies, so we have the Honors Bachelor of Science Computer Science program, the Physics, Honors Bachelor of Science in Physics, as well as the Honors Bachelor of Arts and Science Environmental Sustainability in Aurelia. Faculty of Health and Behavioral Sciences, so we have the Kinesiology program, Honors Bachelor of Kinesiology has a co-op. Faculty of Engineering, so Chemical, Civil, Electrical, Mechanical, and Software, as well as the LUGC, so the Lakehead University Georgian College Partnership Electrical Engineering Program. Then we also have Honors Bachelor of Science Forestry, Honors Bachelor of Environmental Management for NRM, and then for graduate studies, Masters of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering, Mechanical Engineering, Environmental, Civil, Computer Science, and Physics. As well as Masters of Arts in Economics. So that's all of our programs that have a co-op option. Just gonna go back to here. How to apply. So basically the application process, you will receive an email indicating that the applications are open. This is all done through My Success. So if you go to mysuccess.lakeheadu.ca, that's our My Success portal for the Student Success Center. All of the co-op program application and approvals are done through that portal. So there's a co-op program tab once you sign in, and all of that is on there. When the applications are open, you'll be able to select your program and apply. So the application process, you basically indicate what terms you intend to apply for. You have an agreement form that you have to fill out. And then you also have to indicate any information that we ask for regarding to put you into, like year level, your student number, and all of that information as well. Once you apply, then it's reviewed by myself, your application, and then you have to attend a co-op prep session. So once you attend the prep session, then you will be moved forward to faculty for approval. So faculty, your faculty advisor, so every program has a co-op faculty advisor that approves your application. Then once you are approved by faculty, then you can start your job search. So we assist students with job search through our co-op job bank. So there's an actual separate job bank on My Success for co-op jobs. So you can look through there for co-op jobs, as well as your own independent job search. And then I also sent emails with any other jobs that might be out there. So there's different avenues of finding a co-op job. It's not a rank and match system like some other co-op programs are. It's more independent for the student to find a job that they really want. So yeah, job search process that kind of touches on. Who hires? So actually on lakeheadu.ca/co-op, we have there's a link for students to look at previous co-op employers. So I would suggest going to there rather than me going through all of the different employers. It's by program too, so you can kind of see some of the previous co-op employers through there. Work term requirements. So this is different for each program. So definitely go to lakeheadu.ca/co-op. On there is program how to apply link. So once you go to there, there's the work term eligibility requirements as well as the work term sequence for each program. So definitely check that out. So yeah, that's a great question. Can I take courses while completing my co-op term? So yes, you can, but you need to receive approval from your co-op faculty advisor. Usually it needs to be an online course so that it's not interfering with your full-time work. But yes, case by case, you can definitely take online courses with approval from your faculty. Co-op work permit. So for international students, you do have to get a separate permit for co-op. So the application, we are trying to make a little bit of changes. So by the time you start, you might be able to apply for your co-op work permit before you actually get approved. Right now, you have to wait until you're an approved co-op student, and then you have to get a special letter from Lakehead saying that you're in a co-op program, and then you have to apply for co-op work permit. So you need that work permit before you actually start your co-op work term.
Awesome.
I just want to jump in there. Jordan, sorry to interrupt. I just want to jump in and talk about the co-op work permit. And someone asked, do we have to get that from the embassy? At Lakehead University, we have an immigration counselor. Her name is Jennifer, and she can help all of our students, our international students, once they get to campus, through the paperwork and the online application for getting the co-op work permit added to their current study permit. So when you are applying for your study permit and entry visa into Canada, you use your Lakehead offer letter and apply for your visa as normal, and then we will work with you once you're accepted into co-op down the road.
Awesome. And just to reiterate, something that I was gonna chat about is the fact that I did drop the link to lakeheadu.ca/co-op in the chat. So if you are joining us on Zoom, and like Megan had mentioned, if you're looking to see it, who hires, the work term requirements, all that sort of stuff, how to apply, if you visit that link, lakeheadu.ca/co-op, so COOP, it's really simple, and it's quite a great website to see all the different processes and all the different offerings. So, and with the co-op program, it is very individual to your specific program. And of course, then to the point when you are applying, it gets down to your courses and your transcript and all that stuff. So you have to do that on your own. You have to take that process and research it to make sure you're fully aware. Of course, we have Megan here and our Student Success Centers to support you through that process. So when you do arrive on campus, if you have questions, or even if you have questions beforehand, you're encouraged to reach out to them and get those answers to that. Speaking of questions, I did want to take this last few minutes here to do somewhat of a fire round of questions for Megan, since we still have quite a few open. And we'll just try and get those answers out as fast as we can. So the first question is, how do I apply for Global Entrepreneurship Co-op when I arrive at the university? And how are co-op students selected?
So I'll just generally answer this question mostly for most co-op programs. So you apply through the My Success portal, and I kind of touched on this as I was talking about how to apply. So you'll receive an email saying when the applications are open, and then you have to go on mysuccess.lakeheadu.ca to the co-op program tab, and then you will apply on there. So whenever the application's open for when you're eligible, and to check when you're eligible for co-op, you go to lakeheadu.ca/co-op and you see when the work term sequences for your program. You can also reach out to your faculty advisor or your chair, and they have a lot of information about for your program, when you're eligible for co-op. But I can help as well, and I'll just say my email as well. It's coop@lakeheadu.ca too. So if anyone else after all this has questions, definitely feel free to send me an email. How are the co-op students selected? So it's different for each program. So it depends on your marks and your work term sequence. Those are the two big things. So when you're eligible for co-op, so which terms you're eligible for, as well as your marks. So you have to maintain a certain, it could be a cumulative average, it could be marks for your main courses. It depends on your program. So definitely check out the work term requirements on the website.
Awesome. And so some of the questions that we are going to jump over are the program-specific questions, because as we mentioned, those requirements are listed on our website, lakeheadu.ca/co-op. But I'll kind of reiterate some of the questions that are more general and can speak to all of our viewers right now. How is the schedule for co-op since my program is 4 years? I think that's a pretty general question. It might be best suited for the website, but I'll pass it off to Megan.
So the schedule, like, I'm assuming they mean for the sequence.
Yeah, probably.
So, sorry, it was master's in computer science?
They actually didn't clarify. They just said that their program is 4 years.
Oh, 4 years. Okay, so it's different for each program. So depending on which program you're in, your work term, you might be eligible for summer after second year. You might be eligible from summer after third year for 16 months. Usually, most of our programs, that's the case. Some other ones are different though. Honors, Bachelor of Computer Science, and Forestry, Environmental Management all have different work term sequences. So you kind of have to look into that depending on your program.
Awesome. And then there's another question. During the co-op time period, do I have to pay extra tuition fees?
You don't have to pay extra in addition to your academic tuition fees. So you do have to pay a co-op participation fee, which I kind of touched on before. So you have a full fee for your first work term, and then the rest of each subsequent one, you pay half that amount. So you're just paying that co-op participation fee. You don't have to pay tuition during that time. So you're just paying for that fee, unless you take additional courses during your co-op work term, which then you'd have to pay the tuition fee for those courses.
Awesome. So the rest of the questions in our Q&A are quite specific to their individual program. So what I will encourage those students to do is visit lakeheadu.ca/co-op. I did put that link in the chat already.
Okay.
I can
And they can email me as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then Megan, if you wouldn't mind maybe populating your email in the chat for our viewers on Zoom, that would be awesome. But I will proceed forward with my wrap up, just being mindful of time. So I do encourage our users and our viewers to follow us on social media. So we are on Facebook, Lakehead University International. If you're joining our Facebook page, we actually have a group already started for the incoming class of 2020. I believe we're almost at 200 students, or maybe just over 200. I checked yesterday last, and we have great conversations already happening in there. Students are meeting fellow program attendees, fellow people within their city back home. They're also making potential roommate arrangements, or just getting to know people that are going to the same campus as you are. So like I said, great conversations are happening over there on our Facebook group, Incoming Class of 2020. You can also join us on Instagram, Lakehead International. We do an Instagram Live every Tuesday and Thursday with a current student. So tomorrow we will be meeting Aaliyah, who is a graduate of Lakehead as of this month. So she just finished her undergraduate in kinesiology, spent 4 years here at Lakehead, and we've got the chance to meet her most recently through the Global Ambassador Program. And we'll be chatting about her student experience, her academic experience, living in Thunder Bay, and now being back home in Malaysia, what that all looks like. We also have a Twitter, Lakehead INTL. We're posting updates on there with regards to webinars and other information. And last but not least, we do have a YouTube channel. So it is for the entire university. It's Lakehead University. And then if you visit the playlist section, we have 2 dedicated playlists for our international students. So Lakehead International Lives is our playlist where all of our webinar recordings will end up. And Lakehead International is our general playlist where you can learn more about Lakehead, our international offerings, student testimonials, and so much more. We also understand that getting an idea of where you're going to be studying and what those facilities look like, what the campus looks like, all that is extremely important to make your decision. So I do encourage you to take a virtual campus tour. The best part is that you get to do it from the comfort of your own home. So whether you are going to relax on the couch, lay in bed, whip out the laptop, and take that virtual tour of campus, all you have to do is visit lakeheadu.ca/tours. And you can explore both Thunder Bay and Aurelia and our buildings, the surrounding environment, and so much more. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us after the fact. International's general email is welcome@lakeheadu.ca. And if we can't answer your question directly, we'd be happy to connect you with the proper department. Otherwise, I would like to take this last minute to thank my co-hosts, Megan and Kristen, for joining us. We had great conversations today. I'm so thankful that they were able to chat about careers in co-op. Also, thank you to Patrick for helping me with yet another live event. As I said, we do daily live events Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, tomorrow we'll be on Instagram Live, so I do encourage you to join us there. Otherwise, I will say goodbye for now, and hopefully we'll see you at a future event.